wood grain has a texture, right? It's not flat. It's got something added to it apart from the tone. So it's, as you can see with these blocks, there is a kind of a set of lines that go across the surface, and then it kind of wraps around and connects to the other surface. Okay, so that texture is connected. Okay, these lines that go up, they're on this other side. Can't quite see this because it is not sanded, but there are darker lines that go through there, and you can see very faintly some grain that lines up with these. So grain is kind of what we have to communicate. So you can kind of see here that the base colour is actually quite a fleshy, light pink kind of colour, isn't it? It's not a dark brown that I've started with, okay? And then I've added some pencil lines over top and a little bit of pencil on this side to make it the darker surface. And I probably needed to add in a little bit of pencil on this side overall so that this was even lighter. If you think, looking at a 3D form, again, we've still got 3 different overall tones. That's really dark, this is medium, and that's light. Okay? So here are some wood colours that we can use. Alright, that we'll start off with. I'm going to pick a lighter colour, just to show that we don't have to start off with a dark background tone to create a form. So I'll sketch out another object to start us off, and I'm going to apply the tone just like we've done with previous marker exercises, starting off with the darkest surface and doing a couple of layers on that. Going to my medium tone, and then my light. Now, because this is an organic material, it doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
Okay, so you don't have to be so precious about your application of tone, okay? You have a little bit of variety. Now that's our basic tonal application. Now I'm actually going to use the fine nib of the marker to create a texture. Okay, so here, this, if you imagine that this piece, this block has been cut out of a trunk, right? So this is the long length of the wood, and this is the short. Okay, so here are kind of the rings from the trunk, and then the grain goes down kind of across these two surfaces. So I'm going to try and replicate that approximately on here. So there's not a huge kind of dip or change. These aren't super circular, these rings, and I'm going to try and change their depth. They go across this surface, and then this one goes across the surface. It gets quite wide. Okay, and that is that. Maybe we'll have another one just on the corner here, just so we can see a little bit more texture. And that is about it in terms of marker. And then we're going to add some coloured pencils. So with the coloured pencils, I'm going to select a range of colours that I might use, rather than just one colour. So I'm going to make this one a little bit darker, shade that in. I'm not pressing very hard because I kind of want to create layers, alright, and it's much easier to add a little bit more than remove. Add a little bit of that mustardy colour in there. So again, if you have a little bit more flow or movement in your strokes, you're a little bit looser, it's going to be a little bit more organic, okay? Overall, this doesn't look darker than the other surfaces yet, so I'm going to just add on a quick little bit of a different tone on here so that it is different. And it's still got this kind of green going through it. And then this one could have like a little bit more yellow, so it just pops out a little bit more. It's catching the light. And you see how the grain's going that way, but I put my marker that way. It probably would have been much better if my marker stroke was going that way, because now we've got two textures going opposite one another. Alright, so in hindsight I should have got my marker going in that direction. Okay, going up that way.